Hey guys, welcome to Hudson Valley Forest. We're having one of the wettest summers I can remember, especially over the past few weeks. It's raining, it seems like every day. We just came down to one of our favorite fishing spots. The creek is totally blown out, the water's muddy. And we can't fish at all. So instead, we're looking around and you realize all this rain, although it's terrible for fishing, it has been great for mushrooms. I'm brand new to the mushroom game. I only know a few of them. There's a lot of different kinds right now, but we're gonna stick to looking for three. It's Golden Chanterelles, Cinnabar-red Chanterelles, and some black trumpets or horn of plenty. With any luck, we'll have some mushrooms for dinner. We're seeing all different kinds of species of mushrooms out here and in all different stages of their life. From nice, brand new, young little mushrooms to old, stinky, rotten ones filled with bugs that are just gross. I'm 99% sure that these are boletes, some kind of bolete. There's a ton of different kinds of boletes and they are edible. But I don't know enough about them that we're gonna even mess with them. But they look pretty cool. And we're seeing a lot of these around here. Someone who knows more about mushrooms will probably be picking these and bringing them home, but we're gonna leave them. These mushrooms right here always make me do a double take that I'm seeing golden chanterelles. I walk over to them and they're not, but I think they're, I don't know what they are. I think they're like milk caps or something. And they actually have like this white stuff that comes out. I know it's not a chanterelle. It has gills here. It's got a hollow stem or stalk, but the gills are a dead giveaway. There's one book that I'm reading right now. It's a beginner's guide to foraging mushrooms. Rule number one is don't pick mushrooms with gills. And there are a bunch of mushrooms that you can eat that have gills and are fine, but in general, the ones that are bad for you have gills, and the ones that are safe don't. So, like, I know this is not a chanterelle. Just by looking at it, I can tell it's not. The color is similar to a golden chanterelle, but it has gills, it has a hollow stem. It's too round, but I don't know if it's a milk cap. I think it's a milk cap or fish milk cap or something like that. But I'm not really sure. And since I'm not sure, I shouldn't even be touching it with my hands and then picking other mushrooms, so that was stupid. When we get back to the house, I'm gonna research it and find out what it really is, and we'll put it right here for you guys. What? I don't speak Latin. Oh, that's what that is. There's also some bear poop. Pretty sure it's bear poop. It looks like he might have been eating some bad mushrooms. I can't be sure that it's bear poop, but I'm positive it's poop. Found a nice little cluster of oyster mushrooms, but they're rotten. It would have been an awesome find if we got them when they were fresh. It's too bad. Yeah, they're rotten. A lot of bones. It's a white tailless bonus. Latin. So I see some Cinnabar-red Chanterelles on the bank of this little creek here. They're very small. They don't get very big. If you saw one that was 2 inches across, that'd be basically as big as you're gonna get. So not as big as Golden Chanterelles, but they are delicious. This one's a little old because you can tell it's already turned black on the bottom and starting to rot, but that would be a great size. I always keep mushrooms in a paper bag. You can close them up, but they still get some air to them. You don't want to put them in a plastic bag sealed up tight. But I also keep, one of the things I read in the book is I keep a couple different bags, and then if I find different mushrooms, I'll keep them separate. And it's also easier to see if you pick one that's the wrong one. It kind of sticks right out against all the other ones. If you have a whole bunch of different kinds of mushrooms in one bag, it kind of all gets jumbled in, and if you happen to pick one that's not edible, it's harder to see the difference. So I'm going to take out my bag for the chanterelles and start getting some. Here we go. We got some of the Cinnabar-red Chanterelles here. Little patch. I'm gonna get my knife out. Meet the snake that's in there. That's a good one though, right there. This one here, it's about as big a one you're gonna see. It's starting to fall apart a little bit, but it's still good. Right along the creek bank here, I can see more. These Cinnabar-red Chanterelles are one of the three I said that I was comfortable with identifying and picking them. I'll get one here. Now these are young ones, and so they don't totally have the full chanterelle shape yet, but I can tell that they are chanterelles from the Cinnabar-red Chanterelles from the color, from the false gills. It has ridges that go down onto the stalk, and they go down onto the stem in an irregular pattern. Not like gills where the gills go into one spot, or they meet the stem at the same spot and aren't attached, and the cap would come right off. The ridges kind of go down onto the stalk and are part of the actual stalk. So these aren't true gills. They're false gills or ridges. But I'm positive that these are the Cinnabar-red Chanterelles and that they're good for eating, and they're delicious. So I see a bunch of them, and I'm gonna keep getting some more. It's a pretty decent sized chanterelle right here. I just want to mention, when you're harvesting mushrooms, just carry a knife. Small is better, and a folding knife is the best, so you can just put it in your pocket for safety, not worry about getting cut on the blade. But you want to cut, and they actually make mushroom knives that are a little bit different of a shape and have a little brush on the other side, so you can clean it off a little bit before you put it in your bag, which is nice, because when you get home and you got tons of dirty mushrooms, it takes a while to clean. But just want to make sure that you cut them right down at the base. Get as much as the stem as possible. But you don't want to just pull them right out, right? The part that we're harvesting here is the actual mushroom part that we eat. And the rest of it's just on the ground or under the ground. You don't want to disturb that network. You just want to cut off just the mushroom part that we're going to take, leaving all the roots and everything else intact. It's a really nice one right here. That's about as big as one you're going to see. It's a really cool spot right here. I'm starting to see, they're so hard to see, but when you really, all this moss, they're kind of sticking out. Starting to see some black trumpets, or horn of plenty. And you can see why they're called that. They actually look like a horn. There's nothing else out here that looks like it. You can't mistake it for another kind of mushroom. That's why it's one of the ones I'm confident that we can pick. All right, we just found our first Golden Chanterelle right here. Awesome, major find. This one's actually still pretty small, but plenty big enough to take, so it's pretty awesome to find one. And we've actually now found all 3 species that we were hoping to find today, but we're gonna take this one with us. Cut it at the base. Oh yeah, awesome. It's kind of funny, you see, like, even though we're in this one area and getting all 3 mushrooms, they all like certain, different types of the environment, even within that same area. So the chanterelles here are in this rocky area and growing right next to rocks in the leaves. The black trumpets that we found were all growing in and around moss. And then the Cinnabar-red Chanterelles were all right next to the water. And I know that the Cinnabar-reds need a lot of water. They're actually a pretty widespread mushroom, but they need a lot of water. Like this year, they've gotten tons of rain, and they're growing pretty good, but they're all right by the water. Had an awesome time looking for some mushrooms. We actually found the 3 different mushrooms we were looking for. We found Cinnabar-red Chanterelles, black trumpets, and golden chanterelles. We didn't get a ton of mushrooms, but just enough to add to our meal tonight. Of course, there's a whole bunch of ways you can cook mushrooms. For me, a small amount like this, I'm just gonna go home, put some butter in a pan, and fry them up, put a little salt on them. I have a pork chop in the refrigerator. I'm thinking about sauteing these up in some butter and putting them right on top. This is not an educational video on mushrooms. Like I said, I'm just starting to learn about them. And those 3, I know for sure I can identify and pick. I'm 100% sure. So mushrooms are not something to be too adventurous with and just pick and think you know. You can't wing it. You gotta know. Like, there's a news story just, I think last week, that a bunch of people picked some mushrooms that they thought they knew what they were, and they ate them and got really sick. So it's fun to do, and it can be dangerous, but as long as you know what you're doing, it can be really fun and really delicious. I'll get back and research it and find out what it really is. And right now it says it right here. And we'll put it right here for you. Oh, okay.
I'm going to get a wider shot.
And I'll put it right here for you. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Don't do the...
Yeah. Hold your left hand out like this. Just to that, like exactly like that. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right. And we'll put it right here for you. Come on, fucker. Hold on. Fucking chainsaw. And that's a chainsaw. I'm positive. Pretty sure that's bear poop. Positive that's not a golden chanterelle. Positive that's a chainsaw ruining our shot. Chainsaw. When we get... As soon as it stops, I'm going to start talking. You're good?
Yep.
I think I'm recording.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, for a long time. I'm going to cut it. Oh. What?
This one I just keep looking like, oh, that's what it is.
Okay. What it really is... I can't... How are your knees? I can't do it that long. Oh, that's what that is. Put my hand down too fast. Pretty sure it's bear poop. Yeah, it tastes just like bear poop. I hope you enjoyed. Watch some of our other videos. Subscribe. Click some stuff. Thanks, guys. Have fun.